Welcome to the Charity First Handicapping Challenge show. Oh, did you guys hear that? A little kickback there? Sorry, I'm Jeff Chapman here, and George O is actually on assignment, so I'm welcoming in Seminar Skip today. Seminar Skip, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing spectacular. I wore a hat in honor of George, and we're missing him, but I'm going to try to fill in for him.
You could have shaved your head and be very animated, and then you'd be George. So
that I didn't do.
Representing Team George O today is Mr. Ruben Mendez. Ruben, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Black-Eyed Susan Friday, and great to be with you guys.
And representing Team Chappie, we are in the Elite Eight, by the way. So Final Four starts next weekend. Joe Moran from My Racehorse. Joe, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. At the Great Race Place already, so can't be at a better spot. And happy to be in the Elite Eight. We had a rough start the past few charity events, so happy to be here.
You're only as good as your last contest, right, Joe? So
that's all they remember.
Hey, Skippy, before we get into anything, what do you think of the card the next couple days for the Preakness and today's card as well in Maryland?
I think it's very good. A lot of potential. I'm going to be playing that late pick 5 at the Black-Eyed Susan, and then tomorrow's card is outstanding. It's great. I'll be doing a lot of work, and hopefully we could come up with some winners. But I think the Preakness is a little more wide open than most people think. I think it's a couple of horses in there that I like that are a little bit of prices. So I hope I'm right.
We'll try to hopefully touch on our Preakness picks at the end of the day today. Shameless plug, tomorrow morning you can listen to Skippy and I on the Morning Line Sports Show from 8 to 9 a.m. We'll have plenty of handicappers going over the picks from Santa Anita and the Preakness day as well. Joe, real quick before we get into everything, tell us a little bit about My Racehorse and a new venture that you have going, kind of veering off from the My Racehorse or a branching off part of it.
Yeah. So starting off with My Racehorse, a great way for any of those fans to get involved with racing, to learn. It's a great affordable way with you don't have to deal with those monthly expenses and everything like that. So it's an upfront cost. You get great updates, communication, videos of your horse. And now we're nationwide, and it's pretty incredible what they've been able to do and the accomplishments in a short period of time. Just recently, starting in November of 2020, we launched our Edge Racing program. It's still not quite being advertised or anything like that, but you can read it through My Racehorse's website. More of your traditional syndicate, 5-10% shares, and we've had some pretty good success so far. We've had 5 winners in only 7 starts, so it's been off to a pretty good start. We've had one horse that's rattled off 4 in a row, so it's been a pretty exciting start. We privately bought him out of a maiden 30 at Fairgrounds, and he just won a stake race at Gulfstream Park. So exciting to see the development for all the partners of that horse.
Very nice. And you guys put on some some events, especially when things get back to normal. But you're kind of starting to do that again, right? With some parties here at the Great Race Place.
Yeah, no, that sure is nice. I mean, we've been renting out the Stretch Run Suites, which is right past the grandstand, a little up the stretch, but a great place to hang out. You got lounge seating, tabletops, and gathering owners back together is the best part. I kind of mentioned last time, we've had a lot of owners become friends over Facebook or social media now since we haven't been able to gather at the track. That it's nice for all these people to get together again.
Very nice. Yep. All right. Well, let's get to the task at hand today. Of course, this goes towards karma. Everyone will have a $100 win bet, $100 exacta bet, $100 double. And if anybody reaches over $1,000, an extra $500 will go towards karma. So, Joe, you are Team Chappie. Why don't we start with you today? Where's your $100 win bet and why?
Okay, we're going to go to race 7, a state-bred first condition, going a mile on the turf for 3-year-olds. And I'm going to take a look at number 6, Standing O for Phil D'Amato. Coming off a win, going the mile distance with Jessica Pfeiffer aboard, so we're going to get that weight break. There definitely is some other speed in this race. That would be the biggest concern. But one of the 4 horses that have won going the 2-turn distance, was just really impressed with this horse's development. I know it was a decrease in buyers, but I thought visually when this horse ran second to Hockey Dad, who's went on to do very well since that race, beat Big Flint, who though hasn't really been able to break through, has been a consistent trier. I just think this is a good spot for this horse, and I think at 6-1 has a nice outside post. I think he's going to run big today.
I love it. Standing O, 6-1. If you hit that, I will give you a standing O. And Jessica Pfeiffer running, doing very well this meet, and seems to be getting better day by day. So, Skippy, you are Team Giorgio. Off to you, buddy.
Ruben, now listen, I'm not too upset with you. You took me out week 1. Now we're on the same team, buddy. So where are we going to go with our $100 win bet?
Well, let's turn to race 5. There's a horse I've been eyeing. I may or may not have played him a few times, and I'm going to jump on him again here. The 3 horse, Enough Nonsense. Really like the move from maiden special weight into the maiden claiming. He's going to be favored. Been working out well for O'Neill. I think one of my favorite angles is watching owners that are successful with this kind of move. And Mr. Redham, he bought this horse for about 170. They put him in for 50 to be claimed. That's not going to hurt his pocketbook too much. So I like these kind of angles with the specific owner, trainer, and then you throw in the jockey here that's been riding well, Mario Gutierrez. So my win bet's going on the 3 horse in the 5th race. And it's going to take some money. Might be, 9 to 5, 8 to 5-ish. But I think he has enough tactical speed to stay near the pace, if not even be on the front. They went really quick last time. I don't think he gets any kind of pace scenario that resembles 21 and change this race going here. So my win bet's on the 3 horse in the 5th.
Very good, buddy. I like that horse. All right, Chappie, up to you, buddy.
Yeah, and one thing you talked about too is people like Mr. Redham and Doug O'Neill. They're not afraid to place them. They've got plenty of horses. They're going to place them where they can win and move on. Some owners, trainers, as we know, out of pride or whatnot, ego, never want to place their horses where they actually belong to win. And that Joe, you can attest to that. That's very important in this game when you own horses, is not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you look at a horse like this, not only does dropping him for maiden 50 give him his best shot to win, but it also opens up other conditions. It opens up that starter allowance condition that allows this horse to progressively gain that confidence and move up the ladder and hopefully become, maximize revenue along the way and get to his full potential as well.
Yep, no question about it. All right, Jojo, it's exacta time. Where are we going with our exacta and why?
Yeah, we're going to actually go to the same race and the same horse. And so that is race 5. We're going to key number 3, Enough Nonsense. Just like Ruben says, this has been a horse that I've been chasing for quite some time. Since his second start on the turf, or second start lifetime, first on the turf, this horse had a rough trip that day. And since then, I was waiting for him to get back on the turf. He ran 2 good races routing. I think today's just his day. It's the perfect spot. He's getting that class relief. So I think he's going to be ultra tough. And we're just going to try to create a little extra value underneath. Looking right outside of him, Epidemic for Ryan Hansen. First time out on the turf, had a very poor start. I don't think this horse didn't not care for the turf, even though he left the turf. I think this horse is going to appreciate coming back to the turf. Orbs seem to be doing their best running on the turf. And I'm going to take a shot. His last race ran into Flightline. So I think underneath this horse could surprise in a race that's not extremely tough. And then secondly, we'll also use KP Silver Bullet. First off the claim for John Sadler. You've seen him do this over and over again with Ronis claiming from the maiden 30 level, and they've had a lot of success. The horse ran well first time out, closed well. So I think he's a logical contender in there as well.
All right, so a lot of money here, Skippy, early on Enough Nonsense, the 3 horse. Just between this show alone, I think we're going to already have this horse going off at about 8 to 5. But over to you, buddy.
All right, Ruben. Now it looks like Joe jumped aboard with the 3. So just kidding, Joe. Where are we going to go for our exacta, Ruben?
Our exacta, we're staying right in race 5. Nothing too crazy. I just really like the 3 horse here. And then there's a little bit of upside on the 6. So we're going to box the 3 and 6. Nothing too crazy here. I got a little more creative in my double play, but just trying to cash this ticket. If the 6 runs well off the claim for Sadler, first time turf, wouldn't surprise me. So a little bit of a backup play, but I think the 3 and the 6 here tower over the rest of the 2. So just taking an exacta box in the 5th, the 3 and the 6.
Right. And, Sadler, like Joe said, Horonis Racing does really good when they claim these horses with Sadler. they move it up. And I know they like that horse a little bit last out and ran a really good race. So I like your exacted there, 3-6.
Thank you.
So he's covering himself a little bit there, Joe, with the box. See, he thought he was all in on the 3, but now he's hedging a little bit. So let's get to our double, buddy. Where's our $100 double and why?
Okay, we're going to start race 1 of the day. Hopefully we can make a little money early on. We're going to look at the inside and outside, the stiff for Michael McCarthy. A horse that's fired some big races. I think ultimately the class level here is going to be the biggest thing for this horse. He is a little pace dependent. He's going to come from the back, but getting that 1 1/8 I think is going to be crucial for him. Also going to look at Irish Heat Wave coming out of the Crystal Water. A horse that always shows up and tries. So I just think in this race, he's got a big shot. I think this race is kind of full of a bunch of horses that don't love to ultimately win. But today, one of them's got to win. So for the value, I think the stiff's a great play. And I also think Irish Heat Wave's going to be there, but he'll likely be the heavy favorite. And then race 2, before the scratches came out, I was really on Cowboy's Daughter. I thought that horse was going to be ultra live today. And I thought the learner, Your Royal Coil, was going to get all the play. Ultimately, I'm still going to stick with my stand of trying to beat Your Royal Coil. And I'm going to look for Jan Can on the far outside. Once that horse dropped, rattled off 2 back-to-back wins. Ron Ellis did claim, they took a shot in that state bred allowance race. So ultimately now dropping back into that non-winners of 3 condition, hoping that he doesn't get too far back. But I think that 6.5 furlongs is going to be key. And hopefully he can round out the double for me.
I like it. So back to race 1, like you said, the stiff. Skip, you and I were on that horse early in the career, but had some troubles breaking out of the gate, and obviously is needs the pace to he's a dead closer there. Irish Heat Wave. Now this isn't exactly a Peter Miller dropping. He claimed it for 25, but Peter Miller's one that we talked about earlier. He's not afraid to put them where they need to go to win. That's for sure, right? I mean, he will place them where they need to win. And obviously, with the scratch of the 2, a big scratch in race 2, Cowboy's Daughter, Joe, you're definitely the key here for you is you're trying to beat the 4.
Correct. Yeah, that was my play from the start of the day. It a little bit is worrisome with the 2 being the other potential speed that does the 4 kind of get out there on a lonely lead. I still don't think 6.5 furlongs is the preferred distance for number 4. I'm hoping that JJ Hernandez can keep Jan Can intact with the field. I think he's got a great post forward, even though it's a short field. And ultimately, if he can bounce back to that race 2 back, I think he's got a big shot here.
I like it. Even with some scratches, this double might pay okay. So, Skippy, we should have a big lead by now. So you filling in for Steve George. Where are you going with your double, buddy?
Well, first I'm going to say, Joe, I want to congratulate you on the big year you guys had last year. That was unbelievable. What a great ride you had, and we are so happy for you guys.
Thank you. No, it was truly incredible to be part of it, so I appreciate it.
No problem. Now I'm done being a nice guy. Ruben, let's go. Let's go. Where are we going to go to the daily double? I'm just kidding, Joe.
So let's go to race 7. Got a little bit of time, so I'll set this up well. I think there's quite a bit of speed in here in race 7. I think the 2, the 4, the 8. Now the 8 is going to be big odds here, not going to get back. I do like the 8 a little bit, but I think he's going to help set it up for the other O'Neill horse. Again, I'm going to Redham, O'Neill, and Mario Gutierrez today on the turf. And number 1, Found My Ball, is going to be the key to my double here. I'm going to use the 1 in race 7 with the 1 and 7 in race 8. And in the 7th race, Found My Ball on turf just looks so good. Last time out, ran into the Chosen Vron. The Chosen Vron was always winning that race. That was a tough race that he won, and he just sat so well and patiently. He's so talented, very good Calbred sprinter there. And now Found My Ball stretches out to a mile, and I think the turf mile fits him perfectly. My only concern is the rails are out at 30 feet today, and when the rails are out at 30 feet, it just enhances traffic trouble for all horses involved. The key in any turf race, you want to save ground on the rail for at least 1 turn. And I think he has enough tactical speed to be in the second flight, save ground going into the first turn. And I think he's good enough, even if he has to go, 3, 4, 5 wide and stop by the Arboretum going around the second turn. I think he's talented enough to win here. So Keen the 1 in race 7. And then in race 8, going to take a couple prices here, I think. The 5 horse is going to get bet here for Ruiz. That was a really nice win last time. I think this 4 horse is also going to take a little bit of money. And then the 2 horses I ended up on, I think that they're going to drift a little bit. The 1, Luck Be Mine, I always like, especially at the lower level claiming level. I really like when high percentage barns grab a horse from another circuit, bring him in first time. Pipey claimed him, working out well. Pipey's at like 22% for the meet. This horse doesn't have to be on the lead. And I think there's a lot of speed in here that the 1, as long as he breaks well, secures decent position, does not have to be on the lead. You know, the 3 horse might show a little bit of speed. The 5's definitely going to be up there. The 4, possibly even the 7. Now, the 7 horse, I love on the outside because it gives you the rider options. He's going to see how the break goes. If they want the lead and nobody else sends quickly, I don't think that's the case. They can do that. I think what's more likely to happen, they break, everybody breaks well, 2 or 3 horses go to the front, and the 7 can sit off the pace in a nice, comfortable trip from the outside. Horses breaking from that outside post at 5.5, I like a lot because they're in control of their own path, their own destiny. They don't have to worry about getting shuffled. And again, another instance of a horse that coming from a different circuit, claimed by Jonathan Wong, high percentage trainer, arrives here. The other thing is he doesn't have dirt form really showing on, at least on my PPs in the last 12 races. The Pleasanton race he won at, but when bettors see, oh, this horse was running on synthetic up at Golden Gate, they kind of take the lazy way and avoid that. So his last few races on dirt weren't that great. He has won on dirt before, but I think it's a viable angle where the public is going to kind of sway away from him. I think he goes off at closer to 5 or 6 to 1. So my double, the 1 in race 7 to the 1 and 7 in race 8.
Right. Now you're on the O'Neill Redham bandwagon here in the 7th race with My Ball. I think it's a great spot there for that horse and stretching out. And then I like your 2 in the last race too. You know, Pipey's doing an unbelievable job this meet. And I don't really like the rail there, but horse looks good. And then I really like the post position of that outside horse in race 8. Put the blinkers on, which Wong wins 28% of the time, and you can't go wrong with Wong. I mean, the guy is doing unbelievably. Right. First out claims wins 37% of the time. So those look good. I like your doubles, and hopefully it won't be coming down to the last race, but if it does, I like our chances.
It's interesting too about your claims there. For Pipey too, owner Bob Bone, very sharp guy.
Yeah,
who owns the 1. And
he owned a lot of horses out on the West Coast, maybe about back in the Hollywood Park heydays, right? Maybe the late 2000s. Then he went back east. And that combination, I actually think they might have even, they did quite well back then. So I love that connection.
Very sharp horseman. Bone is taking advantage of that ship and win program. And he's bringing some horses in here. And a little birdie tells me he's going to be around Santa Anita the next couple of days. So he is in town. And then, like you said, with the Wong, look, that horse came off of a layoff and Wong claimed it as well. So he must have seen something in the mornings probably, right, that he liked about. We all know how sharp Wong is. So, right, guys?
Yeah. Right.
All right. So it's tiebreaker time. Now, the last time you guys were here, we did the rock, paper, scissors, right? So we've come up with something a little more advanced than the rock, paper, scissors. And that is the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel here.
Hold on. I got to look more like George.
There you go. You get the bug-eyed look there, Skippy. All right, here we go. Tiebreaker time. Hey, all right. That's Joe. Woo. So we're going to race 6 for the tiebreaker. Joe, who's your tiebreaker selection?
Yeah, we're just going to go with number 4, California Street on the drop. We just think he's going to be the best in class there in that field.
Okay. Ruby?
Okay, Ruben. Where do you want to go for the tiebreaker, buddy?
Let's go ahead and take the 2 horse here. I think Piper might involve the horse a little earlier than people expect. And I'll take the 2 horse here for the tiebreaker in race 6.
Okay.
I like it.
Tiebreaker number 2. Okay, guys, so we've got a little bit of time, so we might as well take a little dive into tomorrow's Preakness Stakes. And if you guys also have any, like a play, I don't know how much you've looked tomorrow. I know Seminar Skip does a lot of work. Maybe, a horse you like earlier in the card, feel free to give out a selection as well. You don't have to. But, Joe, we want to start with you for the Pimlico, or for the Preakness, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a competitive race. I think it's a little more open than you think. I'm not being ultra creative. I was really looking forward to Concert Tour last time I was on the show. I was hoping he ended up going to the Derby. I think he's just going to be an ultra fresh horse. Everything I've seen of that horse on the track galloping, he looks ready to go, and I'm going to stick with him. I think he gets a great post, and the distance is going to be key for him, so he should have no issue getting the mile in 3:16. Well, ultimately, not going to be ultra creative, and I'm going to stick with Concert Tour there.
Yeah, I think the pace scenario is going to be fascinating, isn't it? With Concert Tour and Medina Spirit in there as well, and to see who does what, who goes to the lead and whatnot. But Ruben, what are your thoughts on this race, buddy?
Well, I can't help but feel, for some reason, I don't think Medina Spirit gets the lead going into the first turn, and this is why. We've seen what that horse can do on the front when he's not challenged. I actually think one of the Chad Brown horses might challenge him here. We've seen in the past, right, Preaknesses where it's just like, you know what, you beat us last time, we're not allowing that to happen again. So I'm hoping a weird scenario. I don't think it'll be Concert Tour or Medina going head-to-head. Maybe another one. Maybe Lucas sends his horse from the rail. I don't know. But my pick there is the 2, Keep Me in Mind. He's actually getting a little bit of action right now in the early betting. And this is what I keep going back to, is that last year he ran some very good races. I love Hot Rod Charlie. I love Essential Quality. His race in the Juvenile last year was solid. I think he's getting back into form. His Derby wasn't bad. He handled the dirt, kicked back in his face, ran on all right. I like the 2, Keep Me in Mind, in the Preakness. Now, you're asking about kind of other races where we have an opinion. I got a pick 4 going right now at Pimlico. So in about 10 minutes, 9 now, I need the 8 at 45-1 in race 6. That's Tringale. I've got the 8 Tringale at 45-1 in my pick 4, as well as the 11 Youngest of 5. And that's Pimlico race 6. I think both those horses are very live there. So you guys can be cheering for me. If you're watching live, jump in on that, because I like both of them quite a bit.
So with 9 minutes to post race 6, you like the 8 horse at 45-1 triangle, or Tringale?
Tringale?
And Youngest of 5, 10-1. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Everybody knows Jamie Ness. You have a 26% trainer on the year at 45-1. Last time out, stumbled badly, going 5 furlongs. Now you get another furlong. The horses run Bayers in the mid-80s to lower 90s. The entire point is, I think I really try to modify my betting approach, keeping it simple. When you get a solid trainer, solid connections at a huge price, that's where you want to jump in. 45-1 on Jamie Ness at Pimlico. I'm never going to complain about that.
That's the best play all day, even if the horse runs last. I like it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And, sometimes people go crazy. Oh, I love this horse. He's 9-5. And they think they got to bet more when the horse is a low price. You want to bet more when the horse is a big price. So,
amen to that. Yep. Now, Skippy, I know you did well last weekend. So your thoughts on the Preakness, and do you have a good play for today or tomorrow at Pimlico?
I haven't gone over tomorrow's card too much, but in the Preakness, I was against Medina Spirit. Out of the Bafferts, I like Concert Tour also. I love Money Mike Smith jumping aboard. I thought that horse won one of the best prep races for the Derby. Then I think maybe it bounced a little bit in the Arkansas Derby. But that horse should be tough. But Chad Brown's and our buddy Michael McCarthy with Rombauer, I think he's got a little bit of a shot. In the Bluegrass, he looked great on the track. I know he was doing great going into the race. Had a little trouble. I wouldn't throw him out either. I will be using 3 or 4 in the Preakness. But today in race 11, the Hilltop Stakes, 100,000 mile on the grass, I do like a horse that's 8-1. It's number 2, Seasons. This horse is out of Tappet, out of the unbelievable Winter Memories. And James Toner actually trained Winter Memories and another sister or brother to this horse. So he's been all in the family. But I like the way this horse won first out at Saratoga. It was Greenlee. It won by a neck. The horse that came third came back to win. They stepped it right into the grade 1 at Woodbine and didn't run that bad. It had a little bit of trouble in there and got beat 3.5 lengths. They put it on Lasix today, 8-1. I'm going to take a shot with number 2, Seasons.
I like it. So you guys come with a couple plays today. There's a little bonus coverage on today's Charity First Handicapping Challenge. My pick for the Preakness would also be Concert Tour. I like Concert Tour going in. I was against Medina Spirit. I will be once again, and I think this horse has more talent. Medina Spirit has some fight. But then, Skippy, your point, it looks like there could be a lot of speed in here. So a couple of those horses you guys brought up, Keep Me in Mind and Rumbauer, should be picking them up and laying them down late in the day. So appreciate everybody's time. Seminar Skip, you are off tomorrow, and by the way, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, we will have Steve Cawthon back on the show with Ellis Starr. And then you'll be back on Sunday, won't you, Skip, at 10:30?
I will. I'll be filling in for Georgie on Sunday also if I don't get fired after today's show. And I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Good luck to both of you guys. We appreciate your time, guys. And one of you will be moving on to the Final Four, and the other one, chuck them out. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you soon.